I had to kind of do a makeshift live stream. Let me know how this looks. And let me know if there's anything that you want to talk about. These 1 a.m. streams are just the chance to hang out and chill. As always, when I'm doing streams like this, it's kind of just a chance to relax and chat. Uh, Let me know how it's going, though, and if there's anything that you want to talk about when it comes to Freemasonry, any thoughts you have, or just anything in general you want to talk about. So let's give it a few minutes. Let's see who joins. And I hope you guys are looking forward to what is going to be a great, great weekend. There you go. Mr. Keeps on Ticking. Ask and you shall receive. How do I sound, by the way? Because my stand is gone, so I'm worried it might be interfering with the mic. So long as I sound good, then that's good. I know I don't look good, but I can't do anything about that, so you're stuck with how I sound. But thank you for being here. Dylan, how's it going with you? I hope you're doing well. Please don't forget to hit that like button. I'll probably make this a shorter stream. Um, I am working on a couple new podcast episodes, including one which focuses on Freemasonry in Mexico, which I'm really excited about. And also one with a friend of the channel, Igor, who's been on a few times. He's going to be back on. It's going to be a blast. How's it going, Texas? Welcome back once again. I'm glad that you're here. I hope you're doing well. I was saying I've got some episodes coming up in this weekend. I'm going to be recording some episodes. That's going to be a lot of fun, but I hope that you're doing well. Please take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button. Igor, he's done episodes way in the past. It's been a minute since I've had on the podcast. Probably, oh my gosh, probably a year and a half, if not 2 years. We talk about Freemasonry and pop culture, so it's going to be fun. But Texas, welcome. Thank you for being here. No worries, Dylan. I mean, you can be skeptical about Freemasonry. That's fine. I appreciate you being here. If skeptical or not, I guess my hope is that you're not skeptical about me. That's what I'm concerned about at the start. And hopefully, at the very least, I can demonstrate that my heart's in the right place, if nothing else. I mean, not seriously, as kind of a joke here and there, but I don't think the best it could do, all it could do really is cannibalize itself at the end of the day. So I don't believe it would be helpful because it would just take from one to the other. I mean, obviously, if I had it my way, I'd reshape certain things about Freemasonry in North America, or at least in Ontario, but it'd be six of two threes, right? At the end of the day, I think we need to take what we have and make it stronger as opposed to trying to create something new and kind of starting from scratch. So certainly in my more frustrated days, of course, I've thought about stuff like that. But in reality, you have to be honest about um, the benefits and the potential challenges of it at the same time. But Mr. Keeps, thank you for being here once again. I hope that you are having a great night. I'll be looking forward to a weekend. And thank you again for information this morning, I guess this afternoon, when you talked about the tricks of email and computer security. That stuff is really, really important, and we as Freemasons need to pay attention to it. So, Dylan, let me know what are some of the things that make you skeptical about Freemasonry that I can at least try to potentially resolve as best as I can. I can't make any promises, but my mind don't rest and I don't sleep, to quote one of my favorite songs. Not as much as I should, definitely, Dylan. But what's going on? What are some of the things about which you are skeptical? Or is there anything that you want to talk about in general? Doesn't even have to be about Freemasonry. And let's give it a bit of time. Let's see who else joins. Please, if you are just joining us, hit that like and subscribe button. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of the best way to respond to that. Here's the thing, there is no evil within Freemasonry that I've ever seen. There is evil in human beings, and I've seen that evil in humans who are Freemasons, as well as in humans who are plumbers, and humans who are football players, and humans who are any other, you know, walk of life, an aspect of life. And I wouldn't even call it evil. I would just call it weaknesses and trials and addictions, and all the weaknesses that exist within the world exist within Freemasons as well. And it's unfortunate. There was a time when I thought maybe Freemasonry could eliminate, or not even eliminate per se, but make people strong where they would otherwise be weak. And I do think in some places it has. I've talked about this in the past, people who are traveling down some dangerous paths of addictions or depression or whatever it is, find solace and support within Freemasonry. And I believe turn them away from falling into dark pits of despair. But it's not for it doesn't work all the time. And I've known some Freemasons who, unfortunately, whatever their weaknesses and problems were just too great, and they ended up making some really bad decisions. And that's just unfortunate, but that's the way it is. And all we can do is try to be there for them when that happens as best as we can. But, in my opinion, if the Freemasonry itself, I do not believe there is any evil within it. I just believe that any evil that exists within Freemasonry actually exists within men. Freemasonry, to the best that it can, tries to fight against those evil tendencies and strengthen men so they're able to fight against it themselves. But just like you say, welcome to Earth. But I do believe, and this is probably a very I'm trying to think of what the word is, a very maybe naive view. I'd like to think that Freemasonry, if applied, can again strengthen men where they are weak on a personal level and potentially fight against some of the weaknesses that exist within us. Like I've said it before, and Mr. Keeps, I don't know if you watched the movie yet. I truly believe that what we are fighting against is, when we talk about weakness, what we are fighting against is not evil, it's weakness. I think most evil is actually weakness, whether it's weakness that comes from a desire to belong, weakness that comes from a desire to ease pain, weakness that comes from some type of habit forming personality. It's weaknesses. And I think that civic and civil organizations, amongst other things, they strengthen us. Weakness that comes from being lonely and being alone and having Freemasonry to help you not be alone, right? All that stuff really, really matters and is really important. Hello, King YK. Welcome. I hope you'll hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for being here. We got some hearts in the stream. It is. It is. I tend to have a more negative view of humans on an individual basis. I think to the extent that human beings are good, it is when they are part of groups, and those groups encourage them to be willing to make sacrifices for the common good. I think humans left to their own devices are very often the worst versions of themselves. At least that's my opinion, speaking for myself exclusively. King YK, I don't believe you've been here before, so thank you for being here. And let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry. Well, there's definitely an element of good or bad that is based upon perspective. I think that's absolutely the case. I do think there are times when you could argue good and bad are more absolute than perspective based. But I think more often than not, what leads people down the quote unquote bad path, define as you will, is more often than not some type of, again, weakness or fallibility that's not truly evil, quote unquote. I tend to view evil as much less of a problem than weakness, unless you want to view them as interchangeable. That is a huge deal. That is absolutely a huge deal, Dylan. One of the biggest things that I learned when I was a probation officer is the more is that, if you have, well, it's interesting, Dylan, because here's the fascinating thing about that is what I learned as a probation officer is there's two big risk factors that can lead people to reoffend. The first is if you have no friends and you surround yourself with no one, if you're isolated, you are likely to reoffend. However, if you have negative friends or friends who have pro-criminal ideas, you're also likely to reoffend. So the point of that is, and why I think Freemasonry is so important, is not only is it encouraging you to, it's reminding you of the importance of having friends that are positive, such as what Freemasonry can provide. I think it doesn't heal all wounds, but it definitely softens them. I mean, the example I've used in the past is you take a piece of paper, you crumple it up. No matter how hard you try, you never get it back to its perfect smoothness, but you'll get it sufficiently back, I believe, that it'll be okay to what it could be before. In my experience, usually time, more often than not, may not heal the wounds per se, but it reveals some type of pathway to healing, if that makes any sense. Ryan, how's it going? Thank you for even the iron won't make it back to perfect. How's it going, Ryan? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Ryan, and it's always wonderful to have you here as well. So I hope once again that you are having a great day or a great night. It is 1 a.m. here. But yeah, these streams, these 1 a.m. streams are just going to be us hanging out, chatting. Nothing in particular we're going to talk about. So anything you want to talk about, please let me know. I appreciate that, Ryan. I try my best. Like I said, I mean, and the reason I get to do so well has a lot to do with the people and the support I receive from the people. So, including all of my audience members. So thank you so much for that. By the way, I'm going to mention one more time, September 9th, the Jeffening. I look forward to seeing you guys. Anybody who's from Windsor wants to support this Jeff Kavanaugh, he's an incredible guy, diagnosed with cancer, but he's wonderful. It'll be really, really fun to see him. And yeah, thank you. I mean, it's a sad event. It's a fundraiser. He's diagnosed with cancer, but it's still going to be fun to see everybody and support someone who 100% deserves it. $10, all you can eat pasta, September 9th at 4 p.m. Well, that's when it's taking place. It's taking place Tuesday, September 9th from 4 to 7. So, yeah, we'll be doing that for sure. Awesome. Yeah, so it's for Jeff, just $10 for all you can eat pasta. So $10 September 9th. It'll be great to see you there. And thank you so much. Uh, I look forward to seeing you there. And once again, congratulations to Windsor Lodge tonight. Had an excellent meeting. We had a great appointment. Our brother received his very worshipful regalia, so that was really special. So no, it's been a lot of fun, and thank you so much again to everybody who took part. It's great to return to. It was great to return to Windsor Lodge after the summer break. I don't know what that means with the razor. Are you saying I need a shave? I think I look good at this amount. I think this is the perfect amount of 5 o'clock shadow. I think I look good. Anybody who thinks I look good, please let me know. Give some hearts or something so we can confirm I'm a good looking fella. See, the shadow makes me look like I'm like a police officer, right? Or I like not what type of police. I like it looks like in one of those like film noir movies where you have some like grizzled old police officer who has the constant 5 o'clock shadow, or like a private eye who's like a 5 o'clock shadow and he's way past the job and he's struggling. That's kind of what it is. S. Toron, welcome. Thank you for being here. Please take a moment, hit the like and subscribe button. Amsterdam, there is Freemasonry in Amsterdam. I'd love to learn more about it. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Please take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button. Well, some people have said that in the past. I've got some funny stories about me potentially looking like a homeless bum in the past. Shoot, S. Please ask your question. The cost of answering is you have to subscribe. Actually, I'm just kidding. You can just ask the question, but I would appreciate a subscription. But shoot, what's your question? My advice on life. Oh my gosh, what a question that is. Um, because it's changed over time. My advice on life is you're probably going to be okay, and you're probably doing a lot better than you think you are. It's incredibly easy to um it's incredibly easy, I think, to especially when you're working hard and trying to grow something, to lose sight of your successes and think of yourself as not being successful, or think of yourself as failing. And I think more often than not, people I've talked to are actually have a much better life than they realize when they're struggling. If you can find a way to focus on your successes and be proud of your successes, and not allow them to get overlooked. There's this old expression, you suffer more in imagination than in reality. Another way to put that is you fail more in imagination than reality. I think we actually succeed far more than we realize. And I think my advice is try to pay attention to your successes and don't allow them to be overlooked. That I can't help you with, S. Torn. I wish I could. I am not, relationship advice is way out of my wheelhouse. I guess what I'd say, and I won't make this about men and women. I'll make this just about relationships in general. Um, Usually, um, people, even if they are struggling, people mean well. Um, and as much as possible, hopefully you can try to find the good in people, even if they are causing you headaches. Um, because believe me, it doesn't have to be a marriage thing. There are plenty of people who are friends, brothers, parents, coworkers that will cause you headaches outside of the wife. So I hope that answers that. Sorry I couldn't be more helpful. And Carl isn't wrong. People do need space alone sometime. That is absolutely a true statement. But I think we as sometimes, well, I mean, one of the expressions you often hear is absence makes the heart grow fonder. I think even in any relationship, if you're so dedicated to it that you need to be willing to you need to find ways to protect yourself. And I don't mean protect yourself in the sense of like the wife is going to attack you or anything. I mean protect some part of yourself that's exclusively for you. I think in any relationship, if you become too dependent on the other person, that's what's called codependency. And codependency, I think, can be very, very dangerous. You need to find yourself, you need to know yourself, you need to build yourself, to use a Masonic metaphor. All of that stuff matters very much. I mean, S. Torn, I don't want to be talking about your love life or lack thereof, otherwise than saying maybe you need to talk to a professional counselor, a marriage counselor. Um, right? I know they're out there, and that might be necessary. I can't help you in terms of where any marriage counselors may be, but um, because I don't know where you're at, but I know there's plenty of counselors. Well, S. Torin, I appreciate that. I mean, I love all of my audience as well, so that's very kind of you to say. Um, all right, S. Torin, now this seems a little bit much to me, so I'm going to just put you in. Not that this doesn't increase my self-esteem quite a bit, but I think I'm gonna have to put you in a timeout for a little bit while you calm down. Having said that, that was very good for my self-esteem. So there is that. Well, running away, but there's a difference between quote unquote running away, which I don't believe he's saying, and taking time to recharge, right? If you're not careful and you don't find a way to take time to recharge, that can become very problematic. I think everything in life is about a balance, right? I think one of the biggest problems nowadays is we forget about that balance. Running away all the time will cause problems. Never running away, at least on a temporary basis, will also cause problems. So you need to keep both of those things in mind. Well, and that it creates a type of perspective as well. That creates a type of, what's the word I would use for it? That creates a type of perspective and vision, because if you are so mired, again, when I talked about failures as being, um, what's the word I'd say? When I talk about failure as we fail more in imagination than reality, sometimes the reason we don't recognize our successes and imagine ourselves failing more than we are is because we have a hard time looking at our life from other perspectives. If we do take a step back and get a new perspective, we actually see we're having far more success than maybe we were realizing or appreciating. At least that is my humble opinion. It does. I mean, cliches are cliches for a reason, right? I think very often we forget that they are actually they're cliches because there's some truth to them. Not full truth. You want to be perspective. One of the worst things you can do is believe anything, cliche or otherwise, without taking the time to consider it a little bit. But um, people say absence make the hearts grow fonder for a reason, right? I can't miss you if you never go away is another one. I've never heard that expression before, but that is true. You don't know what you got till it's gone, is what that sounds like. I will for sure. Again, I mean, it's one of those situations where it's hard to um, it's hard to say it'll be enjoyable because it's a fundraiser for a friend who's been diagnosed with cancer, but it will still be um, it will still be a lot of fun in the sense that I get to see people I don't see and I get to support a good person, but I wish it wasn't necessary. It will, I'm sure. I've been to pasta nights at the Moose before, and it's always really great. So I appreciate the offer, Ryan, but that's okay. No, you don't have to worry about it. I mean, maybe one day you'll become a Mason and you become a junior warden, in which case, sure. Although if you're a baker and you want to bake me cookies or something, I'll not say no to that. You can bring them to coffee club one day. We're gonna get a bit more time. We're gonna see who else joins. I'll probably end this stream pretty soon. I never really do Friday. I never do Friday 1 a.m. streams. I guess technically Saturday 1 a.m. streams. So um, this will be ending pretty soon. But yes, Rondo, 12 hours later. And I will be having some podcast episodes up this weekend, so be prepared for that. But thank you guys so much for joining. I hope everybody's having a great day. It's going to be a very busy weekend. I plan to do a ton of work, and I'm going to enjoy all of it. So, thank you guys so much for being here. Please take a moment, hit the like and subscribe button if you get the chance, and let me know if there's anything that you want to talk about. We're going to give it a bit more time, a few more minutes, then this will be likely ending this stream. However, I will be back Monday, 1 p.m., and you can expect to see some more podcast episodes coming up as well. No worries. Well, it's 1:30 in the morning. I'll be ending this stream pretty soon. Like I said, I usually don't do, I guess technically if it's a Saturday 1 a.m. stream or Friday 1 a.m. stream. But I figured because Mr. Keeps on Ticking, like you pointed out, this might be a better time for people who don't have work over the weekend. Um, well, I'm glad my clicking woke you up. But this is just a chance to hang out and have fun for a couple. I had a great night tonight at Windsor Lodge. Congratulations to all involved on a return from summer. Well, I mean, it depends, right? On how many lodges you're a member of and how big your district is. So I usually attend about 3 to 4 meetings per week, but I'm an exception. If you're a member of a single lodge, usually um, it's 1 to 2 meetings per month. However, in this district, there are 7 lodges. And because there are 7 lodges, they each meet a different night of the week. On top of that, you have your Scottish Rite meetings, your committee meetings, your coffee clubs. So, as a general rule, like so for this week, Wednesday was Trinity, Thursday was Harmony, Friday is Windsor. Next week, there's Scottish Rite on Tuesday, there's Rose Lodge on Wednesday, and there is St. Andrews on Friday, though I don't think I'm going to make it to St. Andrews. So I guess next week will be a lighter week with just 2. But unfortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you view it, every Masonic Lodge has its own. Like, there's plenty of guys who are Masons and never attend any meetings per month, let alone per week, let alone per year. They pay their dues, they get to keep the title of Mason, but they never attend meetings, which is a problem that we are dealing with in a variety of ways and working on. We're trying to figure out what to do about it. That's the issue. Well, I mean, so the thing about that is keep in mind there's a difference between attending a lodge as a member and attending a lodge as a visitor. So I chose to become a member of um, 3 lodges in this district because I want to support them financially and also potentially be able to take an officer's chair or assist them. I could, in theory, be a member of one lodge and act as just a visitor at all the other ones. I'm still helping them. Visitation is incredibly important. It does a lot of things for the lodges, but I wouldn't need to pay more than one set of dues, right? I could still visit, I could sit in a chair. The difference is because I'm a member, I'm paying dues, I can vote on motions, I can make motions, and I can be actually elected to an office as opposed to just sit in an office for somebody. So yeah. And then that doesn't include, if you consider these get-togethers Masonic in any way, shape, or form, then I have a lot more meetings than that, obviously. I don't know what that is. I was just checking. Is that part of the Catholic Church? I think it might be, right? Do you have to be a Knights of Columbus to join the Holy Sepulchre, or do you have to be like in good standing in the Catholic Church? Is there like what is there a way to be in good standing, quote unquote? Like, is it how do I say it? Is it one of those things where um, you can join as do you have to be a member of a church, quote unquote, or can you just be attending church regularly to join? Um, join. No, no, I'm good. I'm busy enough, Rondo. Let's just calm down. I'm busy enough. I don't need to be adding anything more to this work. But thank you nonetheless. But stop trying to give me more things to join. I'm busy enough as it is. Okay. Do you make regular pilgrimages to the Holy Land at present, or would that start if you join the order? And I wonder how much that would cost. I feel like it'd be very expensive to fly to the Holy Land. I assume you fly right into Jerusalem, is my assumption. Um, Very cool. Well, I mean, I wish you the best of luck, and it sounds like it's quite a process, but I'm sure it's going to be an excellent, if you join it, it sounds like it's a great order. It sounds like they expect a lot of you, which is usually the sign of a good organization, is that they set expectations for their membership. So That's awesome. I wish you the best of luck in your, like I said, in your application process. And if you do decide to join, and if it's successful, then please, I hope you let us know in the stream how it's going. Welcome, Red Lighting. It's good to have you back. We're going to be ending this stream pretty soon because this is a late stream and I got to wake up early tomorrow because I'm a foolish person. But still, it's good to have you back. How is it going? Looking forward to the weekend. I hope that you are, and I hope that it's going to be a great one. Oh my gosh, Red Lighting. So you're like me because I'm gonna be doing a 24-hour stream pretty soon on the 21st. So um, you and me are both. I got a workout booked at a gym session. So what are you doing, Dad? It's 12:40 in the morning. You should be asleep. You're an old man. But are you looking forward to your memory work? You got the second degree lecture coming up, right? Or eighth degree in the fellowcraft lecture? I mean, get them gains, right? The gym session, got to get them gains. Let's give it another, let's say, 5 minutes. Let's see who joins. We'll be ending this stream, like I said, about an hour in, give or take. I will be back tomorrow. Sorry, I'm not back tomorrow, back Monday, 1 p.m. And I will also, I'm looking forward to it, be doing a very, very fun uh, podcast episodes this weekend, next weekend. I'll be announcing those, so please pay attention. It's going to be a couple of very long days, though, getting all that stuff organized. But that should be a lot of fun, too. So, what is the Masonic Catechism? Catechism is. Um, it's it's isn't it just a list of rules that relate to your order or organization? I mean, I suppose it would be the ritual book. right? I mean, I guess brotherly love, relief, and truth could be considered the Masonic Catechism. I'm not positive what a catechism means, to be honest. But I guess what I'd say is brotherly love, relief, and truth is what makes Freemasonry special. And it's what is kind of formed upon us. So, yes, Texas, thanks for being on board. By the way, Dad, why are you still awake, though? You should be asleep. You're an old man. You're too old to be up this late at night. But yeah, no, I remember the red shirt day. That when I, way back in the day, when I was working in Ottawa, they had Red Fridays where every Friday you wore something red. It could be a shirt, it could be a tie, it could be. I got these red socks that I used to wear as a way to show respect for the troops. So I remember Red Fridays was a really big deal. Um, I did that for a lot of years. I always wore something red on Fridays, and I always really enjoyed it. It was a good way to show. I thought, because I'm, like I said, a wuss, a soldier is far tougher than I am, but it was a good feeling being able to show support for them in some way, shape, or form. I mean, it's hard for me to say, right? Having no legs, I wouldn't have passed the fitness test. But I mean, I have great respect for soldiers who are who fight, whether they fight overseas or, heaven forbid, ever have to repel an invasion from the homeland. Um, I have a great deal of respect for them and for their work and for their efforts. But I think I'm gonna call this stream because we're about an hour in. Uh, Watch social media over the coming days because you can expect to see me posting some things I have planned coming up. It's going to be really exciting and a lot of fun. Some interviews, we're going to learn about Freemasonry in Mexico. It's going to be really, really cool. So that'll be soon. In the meantime, though, thank you everybody for being here. I'll talk to everybody soon. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you all very shortly. All right, talk to you guys soon.